What's the difference?
What's up, everybody? It's Saturday, July 19th. We're back after 1 week of missing in action. I'm here with David, basketball historian, and Coach Theory, renowned LeBron hater. And we're gonna talk about the off season, all the trades, all the signings, some summer league if we got. And this is episode 8 of the Great Western Podcast. Welcome, guys.
What's up, Mark? Sylvain?
What's up, guys? Hey,
All right, so we're gonna get started. We got a lot of teams here. There's been a lot of moves. Chu, I know you're excited to talk about a couple teams, the Clippers and the Nuggets. Why don't you get into it?
Yeah, so both teams, I think, were the winners of the offseason, and it was really about salary management. Basically, the Nuggets traded Michael Porter Jr. and his inflated salary
Right.
for four players: uh, Cam Johnson, Valančiūnas, Bruce Brown, Tim Hardaway Jr. They also traded away a first round pick in the future, unprotected, which will probably be very valuable.
All right, so they got four
I'm
players now. They got four new players. How are those players going to be part of the rotation? How are they going to make the team level up from where they were last year?
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the Nuggets was the depth. As soon as Jokic sat, the on-off splits were just terrible. And so having a legitimate backup like Valanciunas that can come in and give like 7 minutes, 9 minutes, and team not fall apart, that's like probably the biggest acquisition. Like because they were so bad when Jokic sat.
They were.
Um,
Well,
yeah, and then
Valanciunas is not going to start, but Cam Johnson for sure is going to start, right?
yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he's going
and
to
he's
replace.
basically Michael Porter Jr. with a
Yeah,
little better defense, a little better handle. He's not as good of a shooter or a rebounder, but he costs like 10 or $12 million less a year, which allowed them to sign everyone else.
well, I
So,
think Cam Johnson is a good shooter. I don't know if I mean I mean I guess the thing with
yeah,
MPJ is
he's a
he's
very, very good shooter, but MPJ is elite at shooting.
yeah, but the team wise,
when you need
defense
him to
wise,
be.
yeah.
He's only good against the Lakers, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
right.
honestly he crushes out. I like the move for Cam Johnson a lot. I think he'll do what they need him to do, maybe more than what Porter Jr. did for them, especially defensively. And I think he probably fits better with the team too. And then who else we got? We said Tim Hardaway.
Bruce Brown and Hardaway, and all of these players, basically, you're going to see the Jokic effect, right? Because Bruce Brown, he wins a championship, he goes and gets his bag, gets like 20 million a year, and like, has anyone heard the name Bruce Brown in the 2 years that he was gone? No,
No, but
Yeah.
he's also been
right?
on a team that no one even talks about.
No, it's because he's not playing. It's not because he's not playing with Jokic.
He got
So, side
injured.
note,
All right. All
I
right.
have a little Bruce Brown story. So, I went to the Clippers Nuggets playoff game, and we're sitting maybe like in the 20th row, and right in front of us, there's this guy in a cowboy hat, and Nicole's like, "Look at this asshole! Just who wears this
Oh
gigantic? It was
yeah.
almost like a giant sombrero. We're like, who comes and sits in the front row and wears a cowboy hat? Because the people behind you just paid all this money to see it. Turns out it's Bruce Brown.
It was Bruce Brown, right? I remember
It
I
was
saw
Bruce Brown,
the
and he was on the Jumbotron, and the Nuggets fans went crazy when they put him on. They're like, everyone in Denver loves Bruce Brown. It's like, okay, I guess Bruce Brown can wear a cowboy hat to and
yeah.
sit first row. But he is great, and he's like the perfect complement, and on a minimum salary to pair with Jokic. And also, you're going to see Tim Hardaway probably have his best year ever because he's
Yeah,
just going to be.
Tim Hardaway is a huge part of that. I think it's very undervalued. That guy's 3 and D of the modern NBA. He's gonna get wide open shots all day coming off
Yeah.
Jokic.
He played really well. He played really well in the playoffs last year for Detroit. He's really come into his own as like a threat, as a scoring threat, and I think his defense has gotten better. And he's a solid player, and as a rotation player for the Nuggets, those are both really excellent moves. I completely agree.
Yeah, for like the ninth guy, Tim Hardaway Jr., dude, awesome
So my
move.
question is this, David. Because so they fired their coach.
Oh yeah,
They kept the same coach, the
Adelman,
assistant. I mean,
Adelman.
uh, what do you think when Jokic is on the bench? How are they going to run their offense? Last year, what we saw is you saw Westbrook with the ball a lot. Not saying that was a good thing. In fact, saying the opposite. Um, how are they going to run the offense when Jokic is on the bench?
I think they should run it through Valanciunas and like try to keep it the same and try to keep the flow the same, you know,
Mm,
like and just like
Valanciunas as an offensive threat?
I mean, he's a
just
good passer.
he
He's a
kind of
good
does the same
passer.
stuff.
Okay. So you see Valanciunas setting picks at the top of the key, getting the ball in his hands, having other players cut, and him dishing it. That's what you see so essentially a similar version of what they're running, but you switch Valanciunas and Jokic.
Yes, and just get like just pass, just basically just try to break even, right? And I have dude, Valanciunas I feel like is underappreciated. He's always
He's
been
good.
solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's always been solid. That guy gets
As a
forwards.
starter, no, but as a bench player, I think he's
Sure.
going to surprise a lot of
And I
people.
also think like they don't need him to. They just need a couple. They just need a little bit of time to like to have someone when Jokic is sitting that can just kind of
Mhm.
get some boards, body up some people, and just give him a break. You know. Uh,
Mhm.
So we're pretty sure he's staying, right? And he's not dipping out.
From what I've been following all the Denver stuff, and it looks like he's going to be, but you
And
know,
he's going to be
it's not.
engaged because sometimes there's players that are, on the roster, but they're mentally they're elsewhere.
Do you know his last two teams were the Wizards and the Kings, dude? Like, if
Yeah.
this is like your
Yeah.
chance, it's like, dude, just I think because he has the same agent as Gordon and Murray and Jokic,
oh,
Okay. All
that's
right.
huge. I didn't know that. That makes a lot of
and
sense.
so I think they're gonna be like, dude, just give us 1 year. Like, this is your best
Yeah.
chance ever to win a championship.
Any chance Bruce Brown or Tim Hardaway start over Christian Brown? Christian Braun? I never know. Is it Brown or Braun? I always
It's
hear
Brown.
it's Braun, right? Is it
I think it's
any
Brown.
chance Brown? I think it's Brown too. Is there any chance that he sits and Hardaway or Bruce Brown start?
I
No,
don't think so.
no. Okay, just wondering. I mean, because like that roster
Tim
can.
Hardaway could be a solid starter though. Either one.
By the
It's
way,
not like
Yeah,
do you guys know who the Nuggets coach's dad is?
yeah. Rick
yeah,
Adelman.
yeah,
Rick
yeah.
Adelman. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Your guys' team stole a championship from him
All right.
in
Okay. I thought you.
Uh-huh.
2003.
Okay. Okay. We
That
just.
was
Okay.
fantastic.
You just have to throw that jab in there. Okay. Rick Allen. Okay. Right. 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 Okay. What the Kings losing Game 7 at home? So sad. Honestly. So it was so sad. I felt so bad
Yeah,
for.
you owe the Adelman family
All
a
right,
check.
I will say I did think the firing of Mike Malone in the during the season was kind of a strange move, but he clearly it did seem like he had lost the locker room, and I think what Adelman did uh, in the playoffs showed that he is a good coach, and I think that he does deserve to be the coach of this Nuggets team. At least give him a shot at the beginning of the season. It seems like he's got the locker room, and I think for them, it's gonna depend a lot on like what I think. I mean, I know Murray. We've talked about Murray at length and what he brings to the table and what he is. Is what's he going to be? Is he going to be healthy? Like with all these teams, right? Like at the end of the day, they have to be healthy. But I do think that what the moves the Nuggets did in the offseason address the issues they saw in the playoffs that made them lose to the Thunder. No, definitely.
Also, that goes to a larger question that Shu, this is directed at you again. I remember when the Nuggets won the chip. You were putting them as a dynasty. You were putting them at, Jokic, part of the GOAT conversation, et cetera. We're not going to get into that, but
Okay. Yeah.
they didn't repeat. They didn't come close to repeating. And then all I've heard from Denver fans and all I hear through social media or just anybody is saying Jokic doesn't have enough help. Jokic is still the great. He just
Oh, the help
doesn't have enough
combo.
help. So what I'm getting at is this the help that he needs? And if he doesn't win the chip, or let's just say make it out of the West, what does that mean for Jokic? Is that more on Denver? Is it more on the role players that aren't performing? What are if hypothetically Nuggets don't make it out of the West? Or are you guaranteeing
If
us now that
healthy,
Nuggets will make it out of the West?
this is the best roster that Jokic has ever had.
There you go. You heard it here first, everybody. No,
Sure.
I think
So
if yeah.
therefore, if this Nuggets team healthy doesn't make it out, because everything we say is if healthy, we can't control injuries and
Right,
we're not
right.
Right.
predicting injuries,
Right,
right?
right, right, right.
So if this team, as constructed, healthy, gets in the Western playoffs, let's say I put them in the top 4 seed easily. If they get stopped by Rockets or OKC, what does that mean?
I would say that anything short of a championship for this team is a disappointment.
Even coming
That
out of the West, even
that
even
that
making it
that
to the
being
finals.
said, the championship is going to be decided in the West. Like, let's be real. Like, there's no like the championship is going to be the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
That being said, the Thunder are going to get better and they're very scary and
Right,
they are a great team.
right.
Sometimes there's two great teams in the same season. But I think that if the Nuggets come short of a championship, it's a disappointment.
So
That's the mentality of this
using your
team.
same argument though, that Jokic is the best, but he just doesn't have enough help. It's a disappointment if they don't win, but that doesn't mean anything about Jokic's greatness, right? I love Jokic, don't get me wrong, you know,
Okay,
but all this, he
where you
doesn't
going
have
with
enough
this?
support. Now he does, right? So if he
Yeah,
doesn't get out of the West, what does that mean for Jokic?
if you're nitpicking his career against the all-time greats, it would be this season if he does not win a championship, if everything is healthy, it would be a black mark on his resume.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
revisit this
and then
next June, next
he'll team
July.
up with Luca in LA. Let's
No,
go.
I don't see.
Yeah.
Oh, he's teaming
Yes.
up with
Let's
Luca, but it's not in
go.
LA.
Okay, okay. No, I mean, I on that level, like you guys said, yeah, OKC is going to be the team to beat, right? And we know it's the playoff matchups. What was that stat we saw about about the Kobe playing 85% of his championship, 85% of the teams he played against were 50 plus win teams during the
60
season.
plus wins.
60, 50 plus
No,
wins.
50 plus wins.
50 plus, right? Yeah, there's always those things like, you play who's
Because
in front of you.
Jokic's chip was against one of the easiest ever.
Oh, okay. So that being said, there's always those caveats of who we're playing against. But right, they're gonna have to knock off OKC, okay? And we know we don't have to get too far into OKC, but they signed the three big guys, right, to $250 million plus deals. So they're kind of set. They're gonna move some pieces around. But that being said, are we down to move off of Denver a little bit?
I
And
think they're gonna have to knock off the Rockets.
okay, so who are the other realistic teams? We understand that OKC is going to be the team to beat. Someone's going to have to beat them. Denver has a chance to do it. Okay, now maybe the Rockets, right? Let's move into the Rockets here a little bit. Unless we got some closing remarks on Denver, we're good. We're
I'm
good.
excited for the season. I'm
Okay,
excited to
Phil,
watch ball
Phil,
and
take it away for the Rockets. Take it away from the
well,
Rockets.
so for me,
What
the
do we have?
Rockets are the team to beat right now. Of course, everyone always says, and there's, it's not that it's not true, but when a team wins a chip, yeah, of course they're the team to beat, right? But someone's going to win it every year. And a few podcasts ago, y'all were saying, and I wasn't there, but I'm in full agreement that if Miles Turner hadn't, or Miles Turner, sorry,
Halliburton.
Halliburton hadn't gone down, Pacers would have taken that game, right? So
Okay.
we'd still be saying that OKC is the team to beat,
Look,
right? So everyone's got to win a title, or I mean, someone has to win a title, right? This year it happens to be OKC, right? So
yes,
yeah, they are the team to beat. On paper, I look at the Rockets and I say they're a better team.
sure.
You want to go through their roster? Let's do it. You
Okay, no,
got
I'm
Kevin
looking through.
Durant.
Okay, so look, obviously they got KD,
Yeah,
which
so
is
let's
huge.
let's get into KD a bit after we go through the team because we
Okay,
should talk
so they
about
got
KD's
okay, so
career.
I got you. They
Yeah,
kept obviously. Oh, Şengün is there. Who's their
Şengün is
also
there.
is their
Yeah.
all-star starter.
Mm-hmm.
Amen Thompson, who was their young star, who's this like athletic
Yep.
freak
He's
both
got a
ways.
bright career.
Okay. They have Van Vliet. They have Van Vliet still there as
Mm-hmm.
like a starting veteran
Guard.
That
Yeah.
guard. They re-signed Steven Adams. They have Reed Shepard, who's young. They have Jabari Smith Jr., right,
Yep.
who's still there. And then they also signed.
Tari Easton is good.
Eason is gonna play probably, but they signed DFS. Dorian Finney-Smith was a huge signing. I'm sure you guys loved that.
Yep.
They got
Mm-hmm.
Capella for some I guess
Capella's great.
So they are locked and loaded, right? They do seem to be set to make a push. They have the depth, they have the talent. They didn't give up that much. I mean, they gave up Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, who I thought were at least, serviceable players for them. But in the playoffs, they didn't seem to have quite enough. So where are we at? This is a deep team. Sylvain, where do you see this team doing? Where do
I
you see?
mean, I see them. I don't know about regular season because you got KD who could have injuries. So that's going to be a factor, of course. And OKC, they've proven it. They're a solid regular season team. So OKC might be first in the West regular season. In the playoffs, I mean, of course, it's untold yet because we don't know. This could be a disaster for whatever reason. But on paper, to me, this with the depth that the Rockets have. Going through your lineup, So
Yeah.
you
Who's
just
starting?
mentioned, yeah, you just mentioned Valanciunas is underrated. To me, Steven Adams is one of the most underrated centers in the league ever. As a backup, that guy's just such a presence down low. I remember watching him in Memphis. He had like 3 or 4 games in a row where he had 20 rebounds plus. No one's going to get through the paint if he's there, especially if, for instance, they start Clint Capella by him, right? I
Well,
don't know if they're
they're
going
not
to
going to
put
play them
Clint
together.
Capella.
Not going to play them
You
together.
never know. Or they could switch him out and have Şengün at 4. I mean, if you have Şengün at 4, Adams at 5, or Clint Capella at 5,
They did
Şengün
that a
at
little
4.
bit. They did that a little bit in the playoffs where they played double bigs. I mean, they in a modern
That's what I'm saying.
day,
There's
yeah,
going to be lineups with double bigs,
they're gonna,
right?
yeah,
The
yeah, right.
front court is stacked, right? When getting rid of Dylan Brooks, what are you getting rid of? A pesky defender, sure.
Well, they got Thompson for that, right? They're gonna get Thompson,
Exactly. They got Thompson, who's really good. They also got Finney Smith,
right?
3
Yeah,
and D guy,
they're stacked.
Yeah.
right?
I mean, who's
Yeah.
starting? Who's starting for this team? Honestly, like at this point, like if
That's what I'm saying. It's
who's
like
gonna actually start for this team? We,
you
I mean,
have 3 guys on that team who are going to be on the bench who could all potentially start.
right?
You know what I'm
So
saying?
it's Van Vliet,
Van Vliet for
Van Vliet,
sure.
Amin Thompson,
Yeah.
Thompson, KD,
AD Şengün.
Şengün,
Who's
and then
who?
you could throw in
Jabari,
anybody.
It's probably.
Jabari
Jabari
Smith
is
Jr.
I
Jabari
think
would
it's
be
gonna
my
be.
pick. You could even
Yeah.
put Easton. You
I
could put
think
any.
that's the five. I think that's the five that most people would presume would be on day one, the starting lineup, if fully healthy. But like you said, like Finney Smith or even Eason can get in there, and yeah, that's
And
probably
a
gonna
lot of those guys like Jabari and Thompson and Easton, they're all pretty big guys, like not just height, but like, they box out, they get boards, right? They play solid defense and they can all hit the three, right?
What's
They're
Thompson's
two-way
what
players.
what do you think is I'm getting kind of like I always think about it. What is Amen Thompson's like natural position in the NBA or what I mean obviously in an NBA that's kind of positionless or whatever. I like thinking about it like in the classic sense. Like is he like a is he a point forward? Does he want to dribble the ball? Does he need the ball in his hand more? Is he going to be more of like an off-ball player? Is he going to play more on the perimeter, on the wing? Like what is his natural what's he gonna like? What's his niche in the NBA where he's gonna be the most successful? What do you guys think?
Another way of asking that same question is, if you were playing back in the 90s or early 2000s, what position would you put him in, right? Because back then it was more position-based basketball. That's a tough one. Uh,
Yeah,
you
what do
have
you think? I
players
know it's
back then
tough.
like a Robert Horry or a Rick Fox who are kind of like, yeah, they were power forward, right? But they were kind of a hybrid.
I
You know
see him
what I'm
as a
saying?
three. I think he's a three, like in that context.
Small forward, power forward,
What's
yeah.
the way I like to think about it is what's his ceiling? Like what are his player comps? Kirilenko,
Dude,
Iguodala,
that's a good yeah, good. I mean, these guys, yeah, he's freak, like
Pippen, Scottie
athletically.
Pippen.
Yeah. I mean, he could get away with the two, but I mean, he is quick enough to live on the perimeter. But I think he's also too athletic and too long to like not like sink down a little bit and kind of play down low too. So I mean, his career arc is really like I'm really
It's
wondering
his
what his
what,
career.
second year?
Yeah, I'm really
Yeah,
wondering.
woo!
He finished his
Second
second
year
year. Yeah,
player.
right.
Well, I think
Rocket
defense is
stuff.
where he's better on defense. He's definitely better on defense right now. He's a
You
pit
know,
bull.
he's
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 a pest
listed
on
he's
defense.
listed as a point guard shooting guard. I mean, he came into the NBA as a combo guard, right? That's what his like comps were. He came in with like he dribbled the ball a lot more. And on this Rockets team, he just hasn't really played that. And I really wonder, like, I think he could take a if he could take a big step forward. And I do think he has shown shades of all-star potential. I don't want to, get too far into it, but I'm really high on Thompson,
He's a great player.
you
Yeah,
know?
he's the perfect type of player also that would match up against SGA or Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
that so
like
that so that being said, so to your point, still Rockets. Do you think that they're going to be more of a problem for the Nuggets or the Thunder, or it's for both of them really? Like you said, they're the team. Like you're going to give a team that has not
For me,
played
on
together
paper, they're the team, right?
on
On paper,
paper. Okay.
yeah.
and
Because
if
I mean,
same question back at you. Same question back at you. If they don't win it, does it
what does
hurt
that mean
KD's
for
Oh
legacy?
KD,
yeah,
right? So that's what
great
we should get
question.
into. KD, great player, KD personally believes he should be in the GOAT combo. And I was just shaking my head, man. First of all, I don't like any player who self-proclaims anything, right?
Right.
Secondly, KD in the GOAT convo, it's like hit the brakes, dude. I love him. I think he's a fantastic scorer, one of the best scorers ever, but he hasn't won anything outside of joining Steph and Clay, right? He won an already great team that should have won it the year that he came, um, and won 2 chips with them. Fantastic. I don't discredit him for that, but after that has done nothing, right? Even with or without injuries, there were seasons where he didn't have injuries and he was teammates. It's not like he didn't have anybody by his side, right? He just didn't accomplish anything. And I think that chatter,
Right.
you see him responding on Twitter to people. He gets baited easily into these
Very. Not as much
debates.
these days, but yeah.
Sure, I find it interesting that he's even wasting his breath with trolls like myself. Um, and But, let the game speak for itself, you know what I'm saying? So get out there now that you have a legitimate shot, because in Phoenix, that was just a disaster.
It was
Uh,
such a train wreck over there, dude.
it was a absolute train wreck,
But
right?
but he's supposed to be one of the goats. It can't be a train. It's his fault that it was a train wreck.
No, I agree.
Exactly.
And so to your
Exactly.
point, if KD, if K like I feel like almost KD at this stage of his career, in the limelight of his career, after moving around this many times, this is a if he doesn't win, or if they don't at least get to the Western Conference Finals or the finals, like
Right.
it's gonna be a bigger black mark on his resume than
Absolutely.
Jokic's from before, because he's later. He has less chances, and his team this team is so stacked.
I
Yeah.
mean, that team looks unbelievable. The only thing, again, all of this, like you said, Chu, is barring injuries. Because barring injuries, that team is
Yeah.
deep.
So Bleacher Report, they had the top 100 came out. They ranked Katie at 13,
Careful, careful.
Dirk Nowitzki at 18. That is a travesty that they're putting Katie ahead of Dirk.
Yeah,
Okay.
we all
Like,
yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Durant
like,
was a monster, but in his career, but like you said, like when you're judging him from the metric of playoff wins and playoff success and team
and leadership
construction and leadership, like like he really was he has never been that guy. That number
no.
one on a championship team. When
Who,
he won,
KD?
yeah,
Yeah.
when they won it when he won the chip in Golden State, like he
I
joined the
mean, he won back-to-back Finals MVP, right?
yeah, but that was a
Yeah.
team with Steph Curry on
Oh,
there.
I know, I
You
know.
know,
No,
so
no, no.
like
I'm just. Yeah, no, I agree.
yeah,
I agree. He needs to
and
win
his
on.
and his foot
Dirk beat prime LeBron, and the second best player was like a
Bro,
washed Jason
Jason
Kidd.
Terry beat Prime LeBron.
yeah, but also too like what KD that one he was one toe away from beating Giannis and the Bucks that one year that the Bucks won where they looked poised where they had that Harden with Irving team. But yeah, I mean I'm rooting for KD. I want him to do well. I like KD. I do think there are some like you guys talked about in terms of leadership and super team construction and bouncing around, but a lot of teams have. I hope what I hope for, and I heard Wembanyama say this too when they were talking about maybe making a star move. Like I hope the amount of the teams that have traded and mortgaged their future to bring in KD and have seen like pretty much a minimal amount of success. I hope it trends in the NBA that teams don't do this as much. I don't
Yeah.
like seeing it. The Suns
No,
were
no, no.
a few team of Suns were a couple years removed from the championship and they blew up that squad. I don't know.
A
I,
lot of teams do it and don't have success. In fact, I think the majority of the teams that do it don't get success. I mean, look at Milwaukee.
yeah.
They gutted their team for Damian. What happened there? They don't have any picks. I mean, sure, injuries played a factor, but even when they weren't injured, watching that team, that was not the right combination.
Oh,
And
Which is strange
they
because
have
you would think that Dame and Giannis would be a match made in heaven,
Yeah, but
right?
there's
Like,
a lot more factors, right? It's not that Doc Rivers isn't a good coach. I think personally he's overrated, but that's not the point I'm trying to
yeah.
make. Um, there's so many factors that come into play. You would think that, yeah, Giannis pick and rolls all day, beast down low, Giannis or Dame just scoring threes. What you picture.
Well, that's the
But the
whole thing on
reality of
paper,
it is
right?
rarely that.
Yeah. So, well, maybe
so, so
shout out to Dame for going back to Portland, and kind of getting back to his family out there, and that's going to be good. But
Why do you think he made that decision? You think it was family based?
I
Because
do,
I
I do,
thought, and many thought,
I
and
do.
he made it seem like he was gonna wait it out for a while. He even said potentially not even sign at all this year, and then potentially join a contender. Because if you look at, I totally didn't see this Portland thing coming, even though I should have. But I thought he was gonna join a team that had a shot at winning, and he's like, "Yo, let me go get a chip with this team."
Yeah.
What do we
Yeah.
make of
Well,
the whole Dame
right.
signing back home deal?
Well, let me.
I respect it because most people are going to ring chase. If you were smart, if you were trying to get a ring, you don't even wait till the beginning of the season. You wait till like Christmas
Right,
and then
right.
join the
Yeah,
team.
and then
That's like,
yeah,
oh,
you
well,
have
okay,
seen.
let's see the ranking, let's see who's injured, and then I'm gonna go get it,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah,
Hmm.
But
And
I think you don't
that's
know
what he
what you
said
got
he
till
was
it's
gonna
gone.
do. What's that?
You don't know what you got till it's gone, like and some things loyalty and you know is more important than a chip. And I think
I agree.
he's I
So
think I
loyalty
think he
brought
got
him
his
back.
ass handed to him,
Well, we'll see. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Blazers, But I mean, let's like wrap up this Rockets thing, dude. Like before, like what anything. I mean, we're talking about KD, we're talking about the Rockets and stuff like that. Like, what about Şengün, All-Star? Is he gonna? What's he got to do to make this team go to the next level?
I mean, it's not just on him. If we go back to the KD debate, um,
Yeah,
the previous knock on him, even if he got the two Finals MVPs, like you said, he was on a team with Steph and Clay, etc. Right? You could call that a super team, of course. This is the first team where he has a really deep roster that is not a super team, right? It's not considered a super team because it doesn't have that superstar power, right?
right,
So this is his shot at changing that entire narrative,
right.
right?
I agree.
But what that means is that that roster is still stacked, and we've gone through the list, and every player on there is solid. I don't see a single player that I'm like, meh. You know what
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
saying?
Jabari Smith Jr. is going to be make or break. I think Amin Thompson is like he's clearly going to improve. He's clearly going to be solid. Jabari Smith Jr. is like, dude, you're basically like you can learn from the best. KD and it's like he's going to learn a lot, and I think we're going to have a Jabari Smith Jr. breakout year.
I mean, he needs to because he was a high draft pick. He was really,
Yep.
coming into the NBA. People thought he was going to be like this like all-star caliber player, and I think that he hasn't really found a way to step up, and he's just not doing enough. I think to garner like the draft capital that was invested in him. And if I'm actually not surprised they didn't trade him, but I thought they would have let him go. But so we're good on the Rockets here. Okay, so we covered Denver.
Let's go to the fourth best team in the West right now.
Okay, yeah, the Lakers. No, just kidding. Okay, we're gonna go to the Clippers. Okay, we talked Denver, we talked Rockets, we touched a little bit on OKC. We don't have to get into that too much. We did a little bit of the Blazers stuff with Dame. Let's get into some Clippers. Okay, what do we got going on here? Clippers. What are the two major signings, Chu? There's two or three major
So
moves.
so so the Clippers, like Denver, did excellent salary cap management.
Okay,
They essentially traded Norm Powell, who just had the best year of his career at age 32.
Sylvain loves Norm Powell.
Yep,
Talk about that.
Sylvain favorite. Norm Powell is like a C minus Kobe.
Okay, all right, please. All right, please. Chew. We don't have Chew. Okay, for all you listening out there, we're
Okay,
gonna do an
so
extended we're gonna do an
they
extended
basically
thing on the
traded Norm
podcast.
Powell. They traded Norm Powell for John Collins and Bradley Beal. It's basically is how it came out in the wash. And if you watched the Clippers Nuggets, first of all, Clippers took Nuggets to 7. Okay, Nuggets took Thunder to 7. So I feel like they're closer than a first round than an
Don't forget
average first
Lopez.
round
Don't
exit.
forget Lopez too as a
Right.
backup. Don't
But
forget Lopez.
if you watched that series, Aaron Gordon manhandled Norm Powell. They just went at him continuously, dude. Like that was the big weak spot is they didn't have anyone. They didn't have like a power forward to match up with Aaron Gordon.
That was one of
And
the
he just
most crazy like final those like that alley oop to win the game, and that was so sick.
well, that was a missed shot. That wasn't an alley-oop.
Well, yeah, well, okay, sure. It was a missed shot, but it was a yeah, the put in. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't. But I mean, I do think that was why even before they got John Collins, who I think there's the jury's out on Collins on what I mean, he was supposed to be this like star player, in Atlanta, and then he got moved to the Jazz, and I think people were kind of writing off his career and he was kind of washed. But he had a great season last year. Maybe there was opportunity on a bad team, but he had a great season last year. Let's see what John Collins can bring to this Clippers squad with not, like I we'll see. I think
Well,
that's a good move.
I think as the fifth best starter,
Yeah,
John
exactly.
Collins,
Exactly. I agree.
great. Like we need him to rebound, try his best on defense. We need him to be a vertical threat for Harden. Harden should improve him from a lot from
Yeah.
the dunker spot. Um, he's shot almost 40% from three. Like we don't need him to be an all-star. We need him just to
Yeah.
make open shots and get rebounds basically and
And to
try his
your
best on defense.
and to your point, watching that series last the Nuggets versus the Celtics, which I mean the Clippers, which was your worst first round matchup, it was clear that when Zubac sat, they had nothing. They had nothing behind them to go off to play against Jokic and stuff like that, or deal with the size of the Nuggets. So I think bringing Lopez in as a backup center, I think, is a really solid move, and I think Zubac can learn a lot from Lopez in that mentorship. So there's that. But I guess what I mean, Bradley Beal, this what is he really going to add? People think like is he going to have a resurgence? Is he going to be able to contribute in a meaningful way, or is he washed too? Let's see. Is he going to
How
start?
long have we been saying is Bradley Beal gonna have a resurgence?
I That's what I'm
We've
saying.
been
Yeah,
saying that for like 8 years now.
maybe not eight. Let's say like two or three. I mean, look, he had a couple down years in
He was in
Washington.
Washington,
He was in Washington. He got hurt.
didn't
He
do
came back.
nothing.
He came back. I mean, this guy. I mean, I don't
Went
know.
to Phoenix, didn't do nothing.
Yeah, I know. I
He's
mean,
gonna
this guy.
be, I mean, what? What's he gonna do on the Clippers realistically?
He's gonna play 22 minutes a night. Maybe
I'll
hit
tell you what he's not gonna do. He's not gonna break the Clipper curse.
Yikes. Okay, if Clipper curse.
That's probably you're probably right. Okay,
I don't
so
think
this
Yeah, yeah,
Lopez,
shoot. Yeah.
yeah.
so Bradley Beal is actually younger than Norm Powell by like a few weeks or something. That's
Okay.
one thing to consider. Okay. Bradley Beal at 50 million, no. Bradley Beal at 5 million, great value. Admittedly, I've probably seen like six Bradley Beal games in my entire life. So I don't even know if this guy's good, but like, you know, I guess
Well, I'll
he's
tell you
supposed to be
what,
pretty good.
I've seen a lot of his games, and he
Yeah.
used to be a lot more explosive.
Before
And
his before his
usually, as
injury.
players age, when you become less explosive, you develop a consistent jump shot, mid-range, or three-pointer. He hasn't done that,
Dude,
right?
he almost shot 50, 40, 90 last year.
Yes, but if you look at in important situation when the game's on the line, what is he doing? You know, it's not like he's just gonna go around and hit out open jumpers all day in a Clippers uniform, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't see what value you're talking about that's really going to improve the Clippers team. You got rid of Norman Powell, who was a huge part of that team, right?
Yes, but if you
Yeah.
actually watch Norman Powell, he can't dribble and he
He's
can't play
more of a catch
defense.
and shoot guy, but he's a great defender.
He's a regular season player. He was great in the regular season. Love
Yeah.
Norman Powell,
Yeah.
but he is not good in the playoffs.
And Bradley Beal is,
Well, no, that's the thing is it's Norman Powell versus Bradley Beal and John Collins. And just to touch on the Clipper curse, it is real. But
Yes. We all know.
The Clippers have like just off the top of my head a very bad history of bringing in people at the tail end of their careers. Like uh, we brought Danny Granger in. Remember Danny Granger? He was like an
Yeah.
all-star. He was like the 2011 version of Bradley Beal. We brought Paul
mhm.
Pearson. We brought John Wallen. All of these guys, all these like all-stars, they just they come to the Clippers and they just suck.
They're there at the right time. I mean, I will say this for one player that we haven't mentioned yet that I think was a really important rotational player for the Clippers that's going to continue to be there is Derek Jones Jr. Okay, I think that he was an important piece, and this is the whole in response to like the depth and the team stacking. Derek Jones Jr. is a great two-way player. He's developed his shot pretty well. His defense was always there, but he in the last couple of years, he was on that Dallas team that made a run, right? With Luka. He's carved a nice niche for himself. Also, a player like Chris Dunn, who was almost out of the league after being a lottery pick. He has also entrenched himself as a solid like defensive player that can hit a shot, dribble the ball a little bit. They have Bogdanovich too, right? They signed Ben Simmons, who obviously there's the jury. Yeah, the Ben Simmons.
I
But
thought well,
all right, all
is
right.
he still on the Clippers?
I'm
No,
not.
he's gonna be gone.
He's going to be
Yeah, he's
gone
gonna be
probably,
gone.
but
He's gonna
Bogdanovich.
team up with Westbrook
Okay,
and China.
Bogdanovich Dunn, and Derek Jones are all good role players. Okay, but at the end of the day, in the playoffs, I think this team it's going to come down to um how Harden facilitates the ball because he had. I mean, I know Sylvain also. You're not a huge Harden guy either. He had a great season last year. He played well in the playoffs. He has facilitated really well for that Clippers team.
And what did he do game 7?
Yeah. The ball's going to be in yeah, exactly. I know, obviously, right? But the ball's going to be in his hand. How is Harden and Kawhi going to play off each other? How are they going to perform? Because that game 7 was like, what happened? Kawhi like
We've had 3
disappeared.
years to answer that.
I know. I know you're not a fan of that. So that's that point. So like maybe you would say that like this Clippers team with Harden as the starting point guard is not going to go anywhere, no matter how deep they are, or no matter
They'll make the
how
playoffs. They'll
do
make the
they
playoffs.
do they have a chance to with the roster construction as it is? Are they going to have a chance to beat the Nuggets or the Rockets or OKC, this Clippers team?
Absolute ceiling of this Clipper team is a championship. Everything has to break
Of
right.
course. Well, yeah. Okay.
Listen, the last Clipper curse stat I want to share here.
All right.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook,
Oh, here we
Russell
go.
Westbrook in the playoffs on wide open threes shot 46% against the Clippers. Okay. The next series, when Denver played um, the Thunder on wide open threes, he shot 23%. 23 versus 46. Dude, the NBA title is won on margins. Okay. The Clippers got better this year, if healthy, at their absolute peak. If everything breaks right, if they have an Indiana type run, this is a championship team.
Okay. Well, you said it.
Let
It's
me tell you
because of
the
the
team.
fourth
Let me
test.
tell you the teams I have. I think are we getting close to the end of our
Yeah.
time?
We can do
We
Clippers.
should get
Yeah, keep
into
going. Yeah, we do
our
Clippers a little bit more.
rankings of the West, and let me tell you who I think is ahead of the Clippers.
Yeah.
And this is again if healthy.
We talked about them too. Yeah, go.
Dallas is ahead of the Clippers, right?
Well,
When
okay.
the
If
when the
healthy.
trade went down for Luca, everyone's like, "Oh, they did a horrible trade, et cetera, et cetera." I was like, "Well, wait a minute. You have Kyrie and AD, right? Now you have Cooper Flag, you have Klay Thompson, and you have a whole gang of role players that are all solid and some potential all-stars.
Like D'Angelo Russell.
You're fa
You get even without them, they threw him in there. They got him on what? 8 mil a
Yeah,
He's
season?
on,
it was like a seven, it was like a mid-level or something like that. But I mean,
Yeah, that guy went
as a
from
bench
when he was getting
player,
paid 25 to 35 mil. Y'all know how much I don't like D'Angelo.
we know.
He was getting paid 25 to 35 million on some teams. I was like, what are these guys doing? Right? And then the Clippers got him back. Uh we traded Westbrook to get rid of Westbrook. We got D'Angelo Russell. I was just shaking my head. I was like,
What do you
man,
mean
what
we? When you say we, are you
I
talking
know, and I
about
told you,
are
remember
you
last podcast
okay?
I said I will by force of habit keep saying we for a while. I mean 30 plus years Lakers fan. Let me correct. The
Okay.
Lakers.
You're good. You're good. All
The
right.
Lakers. So to get rid of D'Angelo or to get rid of Russell Westbrook, they got D'Angelo. And they were paying him, 25, 35 mil or something like that. I forget how much it was. And the significant difference, obviously. But I think one year he was making 35. I think that was in Brooklyn or maybe on the Wolves. Now he's getting paid 6 mil. I think that's where his value's at, right? Cool. Throw him on Dallas. He's kind of a non-factor to me. The rest of that team, Lively, Gafford, all those guys are
Is
ballers.
Irving
so,
when is Irving supposed to come back? When is Kyrie supposed to
January.
January? So
Yeah.
the Dallas Mavericks roster as it is right now.
If not injured, that is a potential top 3, 4 team in the West, ahead of the
so
Clippers. I'll put
so
them
so
ahead of
it's Thunder, Rockets, Denver, and then you're saying Dallas. Okay, so what is
Dallas.
who else is being who's your fifth seed?
I mean, maybe Clippers.
Okay,
Maybe.
I mean,
I
well,
Yeah.
can see
I mean,
that.
is Clipper. I mean,
Yeah.
is Cooper Flag gonna come in and be like,
You
like
don't even need him to be the man. I watched him in the summer league. Yeah, he looks great. He's got a lot of work to do. He's gonna have a couple years
Well,
before he flourishes, in
yeah,
my
I mean, you're
opinion.
gonna need, you're gonna,
His
I think,
jumper is way off. He's got the size and the speed, that's no doubt. He's got that LeBron effect that, just a monster. He had some monster dunks that were incredible. But I think, he's gonna benefit from being around Kyrie.
yeah.
His IQ, his experience is gonna go up, but it's gonna take him a couple years.
I would like to see AD have a monster season, and and I hope he has a chip on his shoulder, and I love AD as a player, and I want him to come out and be like, look, oh, you guys traded me, as a Laker lover, like him, I don't think he saw this coming, and I hope that it fuels him to be this dominant player that he was, like even like in his Pelican days, whatever. But
I think it will.
I think
I
it
think
will
it will.
too.
If AD has an injury-prone season, then that team is going to have trouble,
Yeah.
especially because they don't have Kyrie for most of the season, right? But that might actually be a great thing for Cooper Flag
Yeah.
for Kyrie not to be playing for the earlier part of the season, so he gets more touches. Maybe some of the offense runs through him. So that'll be a good thing. Kyrie coming back and AD at full strength with the depth they already have, and Klay Thompson, who isn't the Klay Thompson of old, but still can shoot the
Right.
ball.
Is
That
he gonna,
team,
yeah.
that team's going to be dangerous if healthy. Again, everything we're saying is if healthy.
Honorable mention, PJ Washington.
There you go.
I think PJ Washington is a solid player. He kind of disappears on offense sometimes, but when he gets hot, he can score, he can shoot. He's a good defender. I they do have that team. There's a lot of more question marks, but I do think that on paper, they can be in the mix. I mean that's so I kind of agree with you there, Sylvain. I think, but I would take the Clippers a little bit ahead of them right now, at least just because of like what happened last year, but they're probably both 4 or 5 right there. Um,
So you take the Clippers ahead of
I think of
if both all
Mavs.
healthy.
It right now, I would say yeah. I would say yeah, just because of like the Kawhi factor and just
I mean, you're talking about a Mavs team that went to the finals 2 years ago.
with Luka Doncic, I mean,
Sure,
sure. I
sure,
mean, it's a
sure.
different team. It's a different team. They need teams need time to gel, I think, and I think this also what's been shown in the NBA is that teams that play together, that have well established roles, that know what like they have good like chemistry. It's going a lot further than just throwing a bunch of like role players and
Superstars on a team.
yeah, superstars on
Yeah.
the team and seeing it doesn't
That's
work as
beautiful to
well.
see.
Yeah, and I for one really like that. So, Chu,
Yeah.
you got anything on the Mavs here?
No, but the number 6 team I think we all agree is probably Spurs, right?
Okay, interesting. So that's my job, Chu. That's the next step. Yeah. So is the number 6 team the Spurs? I would say, well, hold on, guys. One team we forgot to mention, the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves,
Oh,
guys, like
Well, I have Timberwolves ahead of Clippers still.
okay, so then Timberwolves is gonna what are they gonna be the 4 team because they didn't make a lot of moves and what's gonna happen? They re-sign Nas or they gonna move Gobert? Like
They
what
got rid of they
they
got rid
got
of
Alexander?
Alexander.
They
That was a
lost
bad
they
move.
who got big money in Atlanta? I mean for where he's at, but
Yeah.
are they gonna come back better? I mean they haven't made too many moves. They didn't have enough? What are they gonna do? So
Conley got older. They lost Alexander Walker.
Yeah.
Um, Gobert's a year older. I definitely do not have them for the
well,
Clippers. They
what's
might
the guy
be
Dillingham? The
Dillingham. Yeah, I mean he's an undersized shoot first ball hog.
Okay, all right. I think he could be a nice complement to Anthony Edwards if he develop. I mean, all these guys like
They're gonna need Dillingham to pop for
yeah,
sure.
they're gonna need someone else to come in and be like, I'm here to compete, But you got to throw the Timberwolves. They've made it deep runs in the Western Conference Final. Well, they made it to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row, right? Is that
Zero, totally. Yeah,
you
yeah.
got to
They
give them you
they
got to give them a little bit of credit there too. So
totally. They're
I
good.
think we're on still the upward trajectory of Edwards' career. I think
okay,
he hasn't hit his peak.
sure.
He's getting there. So yeah, they've lost. Losing Alexander is a big loss for them. I mean, if you look at that playoffs, he was an X factor in a lot of those series. The way he defended, some of the threes he made. So of course, yeah, it's always a team game, but because Edwards is still on the upward trajectory, second year of Randall being on that team, I'm a big Randall fan, as you guys know.
Yep.
He played well for most of the playoffs, and then there was 1 or 2 games where he didn't play well, and the coach just benched him. And I
Yeah.
was like, man, I mean, you know, That's their
Yeah.
coach. That's the decision. But that, to me, I would never do that. You're just shattering the confidence of one of your star players. Um, I want them to do well. I still have them ahead of the Clippers.
I mean, so now we have a little log jam here. In the it seems like we're on agreement on 1, 2, 3 here, maybe with like Rockets, Denver, and OKC or something. But after that, it seems like there's a lot of movement.
Yeah.
Like you said, and like you said, going back to the Spurs, like what with a healthy De'Aaron Fox, healthy Wemby, Castle coming in after Rookie of the Year. They signed Olynyk, which is going to be a nice solid role player for them, probably. They have Vassell. They got some parts over there too. Like what are
They have
their
that
range of
team is
outcomes?
deep. They are young.
What's
They
their
are
range of
deep.
outcomes? Yeah.
They are young. They are deep. They might not make it high in the standings this year, but in the years to come, that will be a top team. Absolutely. Dylan Harper in the summer league, that is one skilled player. He might not have as high as a ceiling as Cooper Flag. He might not have that explosive stardom, but the way he dribbles, his court vision, you have a bona fide guard who will be in the league at a high level playing for years to come. The only thing that worries me about the Spurs is they are guard heavy.
Mhm.
Is there, and sometimes like the Lakers had to do, they had to get rid of Eddie Jones back in the day to make room for Kobe. Do we have a star in the making that needs to have be room to be made for? The way that Spurs run their teams, not so much. They're more team oriented and less star oriented. So if that's the case, you look at their lineup, they are solid. There is
Well,
not even Champagny can drill threes. Like they are front to back a solid team. They just lack experience.
but are you saying that you'd have to move Castle to make room for Harper, or are you
I
saying,
don't know if I would move anybody
yeah? I mean, you got to see what they
because
got. You got to see what
because
they
of the
got.
style of play and the organization they are. They've always been a team oriented and less star oriented team. Um, and Castle to me is a Spur for life, hopefully. He's a defense first guard who can score. Harper is a score first guard who can play defense,
Okay.
right? So that can, I don't think they'll be sharing floor time, especially in this first season with Harper as a rookie. But
Mhm.
we'll see how that dynamic plays
Yeah, I mean,
out.
don't forget there's De'Aaron Fox. They traded for De'Aaron
Then
Fox.
you got Darren Fox, who's score first guy. He's not the best defender,
He's not the best,
but
but he's developed his
Solid.
passing game. He's solid. I mean,
his passing game is
yeah.
great, right? And I mean, you have Victor Wembanyama in there. On
Just
top of
the
that,
tallest player ever.
you have Kessler, right?
Kessler?
No, no Kessler.
Olynyk, not
Olynyk.
No, no,
Kessler.
you have Olynyk, but the guy that was on the Celtics.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Cornet,
no, it's like
Cornet,
Kessler.
Cornet,
Cornet.
Cornet.
Sorry, not Kessler, Cornet,
Yeah, Cornet. Yeah,
right?
that's a solid move too. Honestly, I think that's
So
a
you
solid
got
move.
some bigs in there,
Yeah,
right?
so
You lost Chris Paul, unfortunately. Did he
where
sign with the Clippers yet? Where's Chris Paul going?
No, hopefully he does.
Yeah. Um,
So it's
I'd get rid of Jeremy Soda Can. Get him out of here.
like
That
okay,
clown.
fair enough.
That's the only player on that team where I'm like, ugh, yeah.
Okay, well,
It's interesting because the bigs on that team, they bring in Olynyk and
Cornet.
Cornette, and he and both those guys can shoot. Like
Yep.
those guys are better shooters than their guards. So it's just gonna be it's gonna be really the way that they space the floor is gonna be so strange because aside from having this huge alien on the floor that can do everything, their bigs are gonna be shooters, and then their guards are gonna be penetrators.
Yeah,
But
that's smart.
but real quick, do you guys think who has the better ceiling, Stephon Castle or Amin Thompson? Because they're kind of similar, right? They're kind of
Oh,
Oh,
iffy jump shooter, good
oh,
defenders.
that's a
that's
tough
a tough
question.
one.
Oh
If
man.
the Spurs or let me go or let me phrase it another way, if the Spurs called the Rockets and say we'll trade you Stephon Castle for Thompson, who says no?
I mean, why would any team even propose that?
I think
No,
It's
I know. I'm just saying, like
right now
they're
you
very
got to go with
to me.
Thompson.
I don't think anyone says no. They're pretty in it. Right now, yeah, you go with Thompson, but there's no wrong answer to that. It's both
Who does
yes and
Castle remind
no.
you of? I didn't really watch him that much. Like he won the championship at UConn, comes and wins
Yeah,
Rookie of the Year. Like the guy knows how to win basketball. Like
I mean, he's just a solid, pesky defender.
yeah.
He can drive. I just want him to develop that mid range.
His shot
Uh,
needs to develop. And it was a low.
yeah, his shot
It
needs to
was a rookie
develop.
class that was kind of like there was no one really vying for it. But I mean, I would say right
But
now, happy
he's
right
left-handed. Oh, this is a thing. I'm pretty sure he's left-handed, and Dylan Harper is left-handed, and Rick Fox, De'Aaron Fox is left-handed.
Actually, Rick Fox too, I think, was left-handed.
now.
Was Rick Fox?
I don't
Was
remember.
Rick Fox?
All right, guys. All right. So
They
look,
have three left-handed guards
okay.
on San Antonio.
So
Correct me if I'm
guys,
wrong. Maybe one of
this
those
is
isn't.
this is a spirited discussion. We're rounding out. We got to wrap this up. But we've done a pretty deep dive here into the entire Western Conference. The only teams we haven't really talked about. I don't know if we even need to. But let's see.
Memphis done.
Now, Memphis, Pelicans, Kings, Lakers. Not really. I mean, who knows? We talked about Lakers a lot last week. The Jazz. There isn't much going on. One team we haven't talked about. The Warriors. Curry. Uh,
Ah,
Curry and Butler, are they just going to be are just going to kind of middling play-in team
are
or
they going to get Horford?
I think they
They
did.
got him.
I think they got him.
They
So
already got him?
is that going to
Yeah, I've
be
been
is
on a
that going to
boat
move
for the
the
last
needle?
2 days.
I don't think it's going to move the needle too much. I mean, the NBA, it's been proven that star talent, like I've been saying it all episode, star talent is only going to take you so far, and those Warriors role players, they're good,
Well,
but
so
they're
that,
not
they
good
made it to
enough.
the second round, right?
Yeah,
And with that, with Curry getting injured, if he had been healthy, I think they would have taken that second round.
against the Rockets.
No,
Or
they beat the
They
Rockets.
beat the
They beat the
Rockets.
Oh,
They
Rockets
they beat
lost
the
first.
Rockets. Right,
to the
that's right.
T-Wolves.
The T-Wolves.
They
That's right.
lost
That's
to the
right.
T-Wolves.
Yeah, a healthy.
And I was happy for the T-Wolves because I really like them. I was really sad for Curry, that he went down. But with Curry in there, I think they would have taken him.
Yeah,
Um,
there is that thing like
and so
where are
that
they
means
at?
they would have made it to the Western Conference Finals. Had they kept going, I don't know. Probably
Right,
stopped by OKC.
right.
But Curry is a year older now. He's getting towards the tail end of his career. Kevin Looney's gone. I've always liked him. Uh, they haven't added anyone that moves the needle. Kuminga, we don't know where he's gonna go. You know,
Yeah,
uh, they might sign and trade him, but you never want to have a player on your team that's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Uh, I hope the best for them because I love that team, but just adding Al Horford, losing Kevin Looney, and possibly keeping Kuminga, that's not enough right now with given the way the West is
That's a
shaping up.
playing team right there.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
playing.
playing team. Maybe it's a rounder. All right, boys. So that being said, I think we that was a deep dive. A lot of great stuff on the Western Conference and what it looks
We're
like.
all in agreement that Suns, Jazz, and Memphis, and who else?
Pelicans.
Pelicans, those are just no chance teams, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I hope the Lakers do better, but I mean, I love the Lakers obviously, but I don't
Lakers could still
they could
sneak in
I
the
think they're a play-in team too, honestly. I mean, I don't. I hope Aiden comes in hot, but I don't see it. Anyways, we're gonna wrap this up. I think we're rounding out about 55 minutes now, which is sorry, Rob. I know you wanted some shorter podcasts, but hey, I hope you guys make it this far. But hey, that was really fun. Any closing remarks,
And,
guys?
and also, I did look it up. Rick Fox was left-handed.
There you
there you
good.
go.
Now we know.
Same
Uh,
with Derek Fisher.
D Fish. All right, guys. So.
Interesting.
What do you
Interesting.
guys think out there? If you guys make it this far watching this podcast, what do you guys think about our
Drop
quad
some
rankings?
comments.
Drop
Let
some
us know.
comments. Are our rankings off? Who has the best big brain basketball mind here? Who's at the bottom of the totem pole? It's pretty clear, but let's let you guys decide. Anyways, all right. This is episode 8 of the Great Western Podcast. We're out. Peace.
Peace.
Later.
Wait.